Hey everyone, and welcome to Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Today we're going to be continuing part 2 of the video series with Crafter's Square Kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we're going to continue where we left off, making the panda from the Crafter's Square Kit. This was a viewer request. I've posted a video of this already in righty. Today we're going to be doing this with lefty, and let's just get straight into it. So this video is just a supplement to the kit. If you really want to make this, I highly recommend that you find this at your local Dollar Tree. This is one of their original kits, so you might not find it, but it's best to always check because they have everything ready for you. Alright, I am going to be going through new stitches at least 3 times, step by step, and then I'm going to go at my normal speed thereafter. You can always click on the gear button in the corner to change the playback speed. There's options that go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me speak, you could always lower the volume on your device and click on the CC closed caption button. Okay, so I will be going over anything that might seem a little difficult to do, but for the most part, I won't be calling out everything for copyright reasons. Alright, so let's start off by doing the panda's hand. We're going to make 2 of these. I am going to make the second one off camera. Set these really aside. And we are going to start off by doing a magic ring. So what you want to do is take your index finger on your right hand and your yarn. We're going to start with the black. You want to wrap this 3 times around your finger. 2, 3. You want a little bit of overage here, so we can take our middle finger and just hold that down. You can take this opportunity to straighten out your strands, tighten them up if they're too loose, but we're going to slip this on a hook underneath the 3 strands, just like that. Then I'm going to grab this hook, pull it back. We're going to pull this strand underneath these 2. So you'll have to hook it and then twist your hook a little bit to the side so that you don't hook the other strands as well, and slip them underneath those 2 strands. Okay, I accidentally pierced my yarn here. If you pierce your yarn, take your hook out and rehook it right, because you don't want to pierce your yarn. Alright, so from here we're going to do a yarn over, and basically that's putting this feeder yarn over the hook, and then we're going to pull this strand through the loop, and then we're going to slip this off your index, and then we're going to be ready for round 1. So for round 1, we have a few stitches that we're going to learn today if you had not learned this in part 1. Let's start by learning the chain stitch. The chain stitch is the basic stitch of crocheting. It's typically the first stitch you make. But anyway, so how to do a chain stitch, you just have to yarn over. So put this feeder yarn over the hook. We're going to pull this strand here through the loop. Okay. And that is a chain stitch. So a chain stitch consists of a left loop, a right loop, and then if you turn it on its back side, there's a little back hump, I call it, right there. Okay, so now that we have our chain stitch, let me teach you how to do the single crochet stitch in a magic ring. So what you're going to do, stick your hook into the magic rings. Then we're going to yarn over, so this strand over the hook. We're going to pull up a loop. So hook that and pull it through the magic rings to create a loop. So now you have 2 loops around your hook. We're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull this strand through these 2 loops like that. And that's basically a single crochet stitch. And the tops of the single crochet stitch looks like a piece of a braid. You have a loop here, a loop here. Alright, let's do this again. To do a single crochet stitch, stick your hook into the magic rings. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop so that you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches, one here and one here. This is that chain stitch we made. It all looks like a French braid, doesn't it? Or like a braid. So each stitch has a loop here and a loop here. Okay. If you're looking at it this way, we call it a front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. All right, let's do one more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the magic rings. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop so you have 2 loops onto your hook. We're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So we have 3 single crochet stitches, front loop and back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. All right, so now I'm just going to continue the rest of the single crochet stitches required for this row, and then I'll show you what to do next. All right, so once we've completed that, I'm going to remove the feeder yarn off my finger. You want to hold the bottom stitches where this excess piece is, just like that, because now I'm going to set this off to the side. So now we're going to pull this excess piece. What we're looking for is to see which one of these 2 loops is going to go inside the magic ring first. So pull this excess piece very slowly. Once you identify which loop is moving in first, stop pulling. Alright, so it looks like this loop here is going in first. So on your end, whatever loop went in first, you want to grab the bottom part out. Not this part near the hook, this part down here. So grab that loop that it went in first. We're going to carefully pull the bottom part out. And as we're doing this, you're going to see the other loop start to pull in, which is exactly what we want. So you can kind of see it here. Keep pulling until that loop is gone into the magic ring. Just a little bit more. All right. So now that that's entirely gone, you may or may not have the tiniest hole here. The point is to try to eliminate the hole altogether and also eliminate this extra loop now. So to do that, we're going to pull this excess piece, and we're going to watch this other loop disappear into the magic ring. So do that now. Pull it until that piece is completely gone into the ring. You may or may not still have the tiniest hole, but to make sure of that it's all entirely gone, you want to pull in the opposite direction and a little up, making like a 45-degree angle, and you're going to pull it just a little bit more. You don't have to go too crazy. It's only going to move just a smudging, and then your hole should be completely gone. If it's not, just keep trying to pull that. Alright, so from here we're going to finish the last step of this round, which is we're going to count back the required number of stitches for this round, starting from the hook. So count your stitches. Those are the braids that I showed you. And put your hook into that last number stitch. So from here, we're going to close the round with a slip stitch. So let me teach you how to do that. A slip stitch is very simple. All it is putting your hook into the stitch. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through all the stitches off the hook. And that's it. So now you want to take a marker. Now I mentioned this in part 1. You want to get yourself a bunch of these because you may need it. You definitely will need it down the road. It's going to help you keep track of what round you're on and how many stitches you're doing. So I'm going to take this marker. It looks like a little plastic safety pin. We're going to stick this just under the stitch of the last stitch we made. Oof, just losing my words there. So we're going to put it underneath the front loop and the back loop. That's the braid of the stitch. And then I'm going to close it. Okay, this is going to let me know where I ended. And it's also going to let me know that this is now round 2. All right, so let's do round 2. We're going to have to chain 1, so let me show you how to do that again. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull this through the loop, and that's a chain 1. So now, whenever you see instructions inside a bracket, it means you're repeating whatever's in that bracket how many times it tells you to. So in this bracket we have single crochet stitches and an increasing stitch. I'm going to teach you how to do an increasing stitch, but first let's go ahead and do our single crochet stitches. So you want to put your hook into the next stitch, and we're going to do our single crochet stitch. Alright, now I'm going to teach you how to do an increasing stitch. An increasing stitch basically is using 1 stitch here, and we're going to turn it into 2 stitches by doing 2 single crochet stitches. So stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then we're going to stick our hook back into that same stitch we just used, and we're going to do another single crochet stitch. So I know it's black and it's hard to see, but we took that 1 stitch and we made 2 single crochet stitches out of it, and that's an increasing stitch. So now you're just going to repeat this bracket the number of times it tells you to. I'm going to show you how to do the increasing stitch 2 more times. So let me show you how to do the increasing stitch again. Stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to do 1 single crochet stitch, then stick your hook back into that same stitch we just used, and we're going to do a second single crochet stitch. So close up again, we have that 1 stitch, and out comes 2 single crochet stitches. All right, so I'm going to show you again, guys, how to do the increasing stitch one more time. So repeat your bracket, and then I'm going to show you how to do your increasing stitch. So stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then you're going to stick your hook back into that same stitch, and we're going to do another single crochet stitch. Remove your marker. From here, we're going to count back the number of stitches required for this round, and you're going to stick your hook into that stitch, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So a slip stitch again is yarning over and pulling through all the loops off the hook, and then I'm going to remark with my marker the last stitch we made just under the front loops and the back loops. Make sure you're not piercing any yarn there. And I'm going to close this up, but it's just under the braid. All right. So now where you might need a stitch marker, I know I will. This is going to indicate round 3. You want to get the number of stitches you'll need for the next rounds because it's all the same instructions. So this will be round 3, round 4, round 5, and round 6. So that's why we use them. So you can go off and do whatever you need to do, or maybe you're deep in thought, but as long as you know it's the same stitches, just you have to finish these markers, and that's how you know you're done. All right. So I'm going to complete the next 3 rounds. And I'm going to do the chain stitch first. So I guess I'll show you this one more time. This is the 3rd time. So yarn over, and we're going to pull through the loop, and that's a chain stitch. So now we're going to go into the next stitch and complete the rounds doing our single crochet stitches. Okay, you're going to start noticing that your project is wanting to curve in. And it's okay to curve, but it's curving in the wrong direction. So it's looking like a little basket right now. So you want to do is I want to remove the marker. Oh, no, keep it in. Sorry. I can put that right back. This is going to keep track of where you are. So this is round 3. What you want to do is just flip this project inside out. So just turn out the right side there. You can take this excess piece and just shove it down in there. Try not to crochet through it. You want to avoid that. All right. So now we're going to do the next round. Oh, but first we have to close it and do a slip stitch. So count the number of stitches required for this round. Stick your hook into the last number of that stitch, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all loops off the hook, and then remark with the new marker under the front and back loops, close the marker, and then we're going to start round 4. All right, got a little crazy there. So now we're just going to complete the next 2 rounds the same way that we did. Okay, so I finished the last row of that group. I'm just going to remove this marker and place it at the last stitch we made. I'm going to remove the rest. Now for round 7, it's telling you to do some stuff. We're going to introduce the decreasing stitch, and then we're going to stuff with the fiberfill, but I'm going to stuff it now because look how tiny this hole is. When we do the decreasing stitch, it's only going to get smaller. So right now is a great opportunity to use your stuffing. Now, I actually have my own stuffing, so I don't have to proportion this out. I would recommend just splitting your stuffing for the head, the body, and the hands and feet, and the nose, just to be sure that you have enough, because you don't want to waste it. Or I have seen in the Dollar Tree them selling stuffing, so you can try to find that. I've never seen it since. I saw it one time, but I already have a lot of stuffing. I bought like a huge bag online. But yeah, I did see it one time. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I love their stuffing. Their stuffing is nice and soft. The only thing is, I feel like they don't give you enough of it. Alright, so I stuffed this enough. And then I guess I could stuff as I go, but you want to make sure you put the majority of it that you can in there already, because like I said, this is going to get smaller. Alright, so now we're going to do rounds 7, and then after that's just round 8, and we're going to be done with this hand. Alright, let's do round 7. Okay, so we have to do our chain 1. And then we're going to do our brackets. It's going to be single crochet stitches and a decreasing stitch. So let me show you how to do a decreasing stitch when we get there. Okay, to do a decreasing stitch, you're basically going to take 2 stitches and turn it into 1. So stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, then you're going to go into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So if you see carefully, we took the 2 stitches here and made it into 1. So now we're going to repeat the bracket the number of times the instructions say, and I'm going to show you how to do 2 more decreasing stitches when I come upon them. Alright, so for another decreasing stitch, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. Alright, I'll show you another decreasing stitch when I get there. Okay, last time. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so we're going to remove the marker. I'm going to count back the number of stitches required for round 7. And then you're going to stick your hook in there. We're going to do a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all loops off your hook. Okay. And then I'm going to replace the marker under the last stitch we made. So you can see this here we're going just under the braid with our marker. Okay, and then we're going to do round 8. So round 8 is pretty much decreasing stitches all the way. So chain 1, we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop, then do your decreasing stitches. I've already shown you how to do this 3 times, so now I'm just going to continue on my own pace. And see, that's why you want to stuff when you get this tiny, because it's going to be real hard to put in your stuffing later. Okay, remove the marker. We gotta count back the number of stitches required for this round. It's so tiny. And then and by the way, I caught a typo. If you are looking at the instructions, the last round, it's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be a smaller number of stitches, because decreasing stitches pretty much cut, like we said, 2 stitches into 1, so you're cutting your stitch count in half. So if you check out the number of stitches between round 7 and 8, it shows the same number. That is incorrect. It's going to be half that for round 8. Alright, so this is the hand. You can squish your stuffing to readjust throughout the arm. That's why I kind of overstuffed a little bit, so that I can fill out the rest, because it'll be very hard to do that now. So I don't know how much we're gonna need. Like I said, the previous instructions would always say about 5 inches. So I'm gonna cut my tail, and I'm gonna show you how to fasten off. So you're gonna take your yarn and yarn over. We're gonna pull this through the loop, and we're gonna pull it all the way out and tighten it up. And again, I'm going to make the second one offline. When we come back in the end, I'm going to have all the pieces, and then we'll sew it together. Alright, so now we're going to make the panda ears. Again, I'm going to show you how to do the magic ring. So you want to take your right hand, stick out your index finger. Let's wrap this yarn about 3 times around your finger. You want a little bit of overage so that you can put your middle finger down on it. You can straighten this out, tighten it up if it's a little too loose. But I'm going to slip my hook underneath the 3 strands. We're going to pull it back, but we're going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So let's do that now. Okay. Then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop. So now you can remove your middle finger, and you can slip this off your index. So now we can go straight into our chain stitch and single crochet stitches. So let's do that now. Chain stitch and do the number of single crochet stitches the instruction tells you to do. Okay, So from here, we're going to now close our magic ring. You want to hold the bottom part of these stitches here. So if this is the top, this is the bottom. We're going to pull this excess piece and we're going to see which one of these two loops start pulling in. So once you identify which loop is going in first, stop pulling. Alright, so identified this loop going in first. So what you want to do is pull out the lower end. Don't pull out here, pull out from down here. So pull this lower piece out. You're going to see the other loop go in. So let's watch it go in. You want to keep pulling until that loop goes entirely into the magic ring. Okay, and once we're there, then we can pull this excess piece to make this loop disappear. So start pulling. Okay, until that goes completely in. You might have a little hole still. What you want to do is pull in the opposite direction and a little up, like a 45-degree angle. You're going to feel a little tug. You don't have to pull it all the way, but that hole now will be gone. So from here, we're going to count back the required stitches for this round, and we're going to do our slip stitch. So stick your hook into that last stitch there. And then we're going to do our slip stitch. Okay, then I'm going to just mark the last stitch we made just underneath the braid, and then we're going to move on to round 2. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1, and then we have brackets, and it's pretty much single crochet stitches and increasing stitches. So you're going to want to repeat that the number of times the instruction tells you to. So I'm just going to go through this whole thing, and then we'll look at the next steps. Okay, so now I'm going to remove my marker. I'm going to count back the required stitches for this round, and we're going to stick our hook into that last stitch, and we're going to close the round off by doing a slip stitch. Put your marker, the last stitch we made. So now this is going to be for round 3, and then I'm going to want another one for round 4. And it's going to be the same single crochet stitches. So let's do that. I'm just going to flip this inside out. And then try to tuck this tail in here. Okay, we can remove the markers. And then we're gonna cut this. And then we're gonna fasten off. So yarn over. We're going to pull through the loop all the way out and then tighten it up. And we've got our first ear. I'm going to do the second one off camera. But now we're going to do the nose. So let me see if this is all my white. Not sure. Alright, so this is actually all the white that I have. Very scary. I do need white for the nose, and then I'm going to need white for the legs. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't, I guess they give you a nose. Yeah, I think they might give you a nose, or you're supposed to sew it. So you know what? I'm going to try something different. Let's see if it works. And I'm only trying it because I don't have any more of this white, which is not a good thing, considering I probably need more white down the road. But anyway, so this is, the nose is made out of 3 rounds. I'm going to start the first round with the black, see how that looks, if it makes a nice sizable nose. And then if it's too small, I'll go into round 2 with the black. But if round 1's good enough, then I'll switch to white then. That way I save yarn by not doing the magic ring with the white. And also I save yarn by transitioning to the white later. But oh, let's show you this one more time, you guys. This is the 3rd time now to show you the magic ring. You want to take your right hand here. We're going to wrap this yarn 3 times around your finger. A little bit of overage to put your middle finger on there. You can take this time to straighten out your strands, tighten them up if you need. I'm going to put our crochet hook under all 3 strands like this. We're going to pull it back out and drag this strand underneath these 2. And then we're going to yarn over. And we're going to pull this strand through the loop. And I'm going to let go of my middle finger, slip this off my index, and then we're going to do our single crochet stitches. But first we're going to do our chain stitch. Right, and then you do the single crochet stitches required for this round. Okay. We're gonna hold the yarn down here like this, a little bit firm, so that we can stabilize this part here. Again, we're gonna pull this to see which one of these two loops goes in the hole. So pull that slowly until you see a loop go in. Okay. Once you've identified which loop is going in, you want to pull the bottom half out. That's down here, not up here. So pull the loop that's down here. And keep pulling till that is gone. Then we're going to pull this excess piece and we're going to pull that till the other loop disappears into the magic ring. Now you might still have the tiniest hole. You want to pull in the opposite direction and a little bit of up, so it might be at a 45. Then pull it. You're going to feel a little tug. You don't have to pull it all the way super hard, but now your hole is completely gone. And then what we have to do is just count back the number of stitches that this round requires. Stick your hook into that stitch and we're going to do a slip stitch. This actually looks like enough black for a nose for me. So what we're going to do, actually, I'm going to take my hook back out. If you're doing it with all white, then just hold on for a second here. If you are running out of white, which I don't think you should, just follow with me. I'm just going to pull this out by a lot so that I don't lose my loop. I can set this aside, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to change to my white. Now, if you saw part 1's video, I did show how to transition from black to white or white to black. You want to take your ring, pinky, and thumb and hold the end here, and then your index and middle finger, hold it apart like that. So I do it this way so we can have the least amount of waste, which is very important considering I only have a few pieces of white left. But we're going to lay our hook. Oh, I might want to do this with my lefty, sorry. So ring, pinky, and thumb, middle finger and index, hold it apart like that. We're going to lay our hook perpendicular to the hook. Alright, and then we're going to go down, out, and around to create this loop around the hook. You can slide your hook up and down, slide it down towards your thumb. We're going to hold this with the middle finger right where it crosses, because I have to let go of the right, and then I have to gather up some feeder yarn. So what we're going to do here is repinch the end with your thumb and middle finger. You can even go lower, and then you can slide your hook towards your thumb, and when it hits your thumb, just pinch where it crosses. That way you don't have to, you can't slide your hook up and down anymore. We're going to do a yarn over, and you're going to pull this through the loop, and then we're going to overhand our hook. That's taking our hand here and putting it over the hook like this. We're going to repinch this end, don't lose it. I'm going to push this knot towards my thumb. You want to push it to where the knot gets tighter and tighter. Be sure not to lose that end. Okay, push it to where it gets tighter and tighter. And once you hit the stopping point, whether it's butt up against your thumb or the knot is too tight, then you want to take your thumb and middle finger and just pull out this way. Pull out that little piece so that you can tighten up that knot just a little bit more. Then we're going to grab the knot and slide it towards the hook, you want to leave a little bit of room here. We're going to slide this off our hook, set this aside. We're going to pick up our project, slip the hook back in, tighten it up. All right, then again, count the number of stitches required for this round, stick your hook in there. So rather than yarn over with the black, we're going to yarn over with this white here. Pull it through all loops off your hook. Okay. And then since we won't be using this black anymore, just cut off an inch or so. And I'm going to tie it to the other piece of black that we have here. Double knot it so you don't lose any stitches. Let's put our marker under the last stitch we made. And then we're going to do round 2, which is in brackets, single crochet stitches to increasing stitches. Okay, so first we have to do our chain 1. And then I'm going to do the brackets. So my nose is going to be a round nose, but it is what it is. Remove the marker. We're going to count back the number of stitches required for this round. And do our slip stitch. And then for our last round here, we're going to be doing our single crochet stitches. Remove the marker. Count back the number of stitches required for this round. And we're going to do our slip stitch, and then we're going to fasten off. Alright, so I actually have no more white, so I'm going to use this to sew on the nose. So so I'm going to make the legs all black. Okay, but I got my nose on there. But now we're going to do the legs. So you guys, you just saw me transition how to switch from that black to the white. You're going to have to copy the same, that same technique for these legs. So if you intend on making the legs look, oh, you know what, let me just try to find a different white. The texture is going to be all off, but I need to show white, so I'll be right back. Okay, see, this is why you save all your yarn. I did manage to find some. This is actually not white, but I'm going to be using this. Alright, so we're going to start with the white yarn. Alright, so we're going to do our magic ring. And I showed this 3 times already, so you should be able to just rewind back if you need additional step-by-step on how to do the magic ring. Alright, so from here I'm going to do my chain 1, and then I'm going to do my single crochet stitches required for this round. And then we're going to close the magic ring. Then we're going to close the round by doing a slip stitch. And then we're gonna put our stitch marker. Okay. So for round 2, it looks like we're gonna be doing increasing stitches. But before we complete the slip stitch, we are gonna transition to black. So let's do that now. Alright, so from here we're going to remove the marker, but before we move ahead I am going to pull this loop out by a lot so we don't lose the stitch. Set this aside. Then I'm going to take the black, and again I'm going to show you how to cast on with a slip stitch. So you want to take your ring, pinky, and thumb and hold the end here. Then you're going to take your middle and index and hold it apart. Take your hook and lie it perpendicular to the hook. We're going to go down, out, and around so we can slide this up and down. Slide it down towards your thumb. We're going to use our middle finger and just hold it in place so we can let go of the yarn there. Okay, let's grab a little bit of feeder yarn. We're going to re-pinch this end and then slide our hook closer to the thumb. Once you hit it, you can then pinch it so that you can no longer slide it up and down. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through the loop. And then we're going to overhand our hook here. We're going to re-pinch this end. Okay. Then we're going to push the knot towards the thumb. And you want to keep pushing it until you can no longer push it. Then I'm going to take my thumb and middle finger and we're just going to pull out this excess piece here just to make that knot nice and snug. Grab the knot, we're going to pull it up towards the hook and then slip off our loop and set it aside for now. We're going to go back into our project, put in our hook, tighten up the loop a little bit. Now we're going to count back to the required number of stitches for this leg. Okay, and then stick your hook into that last stitch. Then take your black, slip that on there, and we're going to do our slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to put our stitch marker under the last stitch we made. So we're not going to use white again for this leg. So I'm going to cut off about 1 inch or so. And we're going to tie it around this excess piece a couple of times just to make sure that we don't lose that stitch. Okay. Then we're going to continue on to round 3. So this is for round 3. We got to do 4 and 5. Okay. 3, 4, 5. And then it's just single crochet stitches. So let's do that now. gonna flip this inside out. Okay, that was the last one, so I'm going to remove my markers. I'm going to count back and then do my slip stitch. And then replace my marker here. Alright, so this is for round 6. And it looks like we've got some brackets. We're going to be alternating single crochet stitches with decreasing stitches. So let's do that now. Okay, remove the marker. Do a slip stitch. Put your marker under the last stitch we made. Now this is going to be for round 7 and this is going to be for round 8. Alright, so for 7 through 8 we're pretty much going to be doing single crochet stitches. So, and then I'm going to fiber fill after, because I think this is not so small. It's not so bad. Okay, remove the markers. I'm going to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to leave a decent amount of yarn here. And we're going to fasten off. Right, then I'm just going to take some of this stuffing and we're going to put this in here. And you want the firmness to be similar to the other body parts. Okay. And while I'm at it, I think the nose that we did, just put a little stuffing in there too, because we're gonna have to anyway, so might as well just do that now so you don't have to do it later. I'll make sure to tuck in those ends. You can maybe roll this into a ball to make sure that the frizz is kind of limited. All right. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna go back off camera. I'm gonna do the other arm, the other leg, the other ear. We'll come back and then I'm gonna show you how to sew everything all together. Okay, so I have all my pieces together. We are now going to move on to the sewing. So we have to sew the head to the body, like that. So I really didn't need the white, but let's see. I'm going to tuck this white in. It's kind of a shame. I'm not saying this would have been enough for both legs, but at least this can become stuffing. All right, so now I'm going to thread up the body. And we're going to sew it together. Let's see, how many stitches are these? 3, 6, 9. All right. I want to find a good side to match, so let's do this and sew the body to the head. I'm not a sewer, so I can't really give you any tips or tricks with this, so just try the best you can. Okay. Then we're going to do the hands. So the other one. You want to try to make it even with the one we just put on there. Okay. And then we're gonna do the ears. the other ear. Okay. And we're going to do the legs. the other one. Okay, last piece, the nose. Oh, I didn't put a mouth. Alright, I'll do that right now. I kind of have part of it. Okay. I think they give you, I don't know if they give you embroidery floss, but you can use that to make the mouth. I just used the black yarn and made some sort of semblance of a mouth. Then we're going to sew this last piece. Okay. Here it is, you guys. Let me know how it went for you. Let's do a side by side. Alright, so that's the Panda Lefty. So again, if you have any requests, leave a comment below. If you don't want to wait for me to find the kit first, go ahead and take a clear image of the instructions and send it to me via email. My information is in the description box below, as well as my about section on this channel. And I wanted to make available to you my special NFL giveaway. This is on my other channel. I am trying to split off my crafts from my other channel, so until this channel gets bigger, I will be posting similar, pretty much the same videos on both channels. But on the original channel, I am hosting an NFL giveaway. I'll leave my link in the description box below along with the rules, so check that out. Just to reiterate, there'll be 2 winners, a nail winner and a craft winner. The craft winner is going to receive some goodies, a gift card, as well as a 1-hour session one-on-one via StreamYard to present your workstation like this. You can show me the projects that you are working on, that you're stuck with, like that you're having problems with. I think a one-on-one would be a better way to learn crochet or knitting. So and you have if you win, there's no limit to when you can cash that in. Obviously, if I'm no longer doing the channel, that will probably not be a thing. So you'll have to forfeit that, but I intend on keeping this channel for as long as I possibly can. So definitely go check that out. I post those giveaway videos every Tuesday. I leave the voting open from Tuesday to Wednesday, and the rules are there as well. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Hooked on Needles and Crafts. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.